Welcome back, everybody, to the Nosebleed Sports Podcast. I'm Chris Witt, and with me, as always, is Mr. Adam Schmidt. Adam, how are you today, sir?
Doing wonderful. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, bud. I'm doing pretty daggone good. It's Thursday. We usually do this thing on Wednesday, but had some technical difficulties the last couple weeks. Haven't seen each other in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Lots going on, man.
I missed you dearly.
I missed you. I missed you dearly. I missed this dearly.
Absolutely.
I missed this.
Feels good to be back.
It feels good just to look in your eyes with headset on. Oh my gosh. I'll tell you what, if you can't see, if you're not on YouTube and you're on any other podcast platform that we are on, and you just missed the fluttering of the probably the longest eyelashes on any other human being that are real.
That
are real. And they are not real.
Not real.
Not a single one of them. I don't know how they stay on.
Yeah.
I don't know how they stay on. I do know how they stay on because my 6-year-olds, well, they're 7 now, but when they were 6, they had to have fake eyelashes for dance. I do know how they stay on. Glue. And they don't come off. If you can't get them off, if a 6-year-old can't get them off, they ain't coming off. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Girls put glue and all kinds of stuff on themselves.
Yeah.
And
they also, so then I come to find out, let's get into stick on eyelashes real quick.
Let's do it.
So I also found out, check this out.
Sally Hansen, L'Oreal.
Oh, you got me beat already. I don't know Sally Hansen. Isn't L'Oreal like lotion?
Lee, I think the fingernail people make, Lee makes eyelashes, I think. Sally Hansen.
What are fingernail people? What are Lee
fake fingernails?
Dude, you are so more in tune to this than I am, and I've got 2 daughters.
I have 20 more years of dating different people.
I guess that's true.
Also, it started way before then because I worked plenty of nights in the cosmetic section at Walgreens.
You had to know, you had to put some
some
16, eyeliner on 17. Some people, huh? I got you.
Not any of that stuff, but just stocking it.
My wife of 15 years, just about. So yeah, she was not the uppity, not uppity, doopity doo, not doopity doo. What's the word I'm looking for? You know, the fingernails and the eyelashes.
Yeah,
she wasn't
flashy,
like that, right? Wasn't flashy. No, she played soccer and softball, right? She wasn't out there. She wasn't out there, doing it up with all that fun stuff. So no idea about Lee. I just thought those were jeans. I thought him and Vi made some jeans, and that's how it went.
Yeah, Lee and Vi made
dungaree or whatever, right?
Lee and Vi got together. One of the best combos.
Go down in history. Anyway, the cool thing that they make now that I come to find out is you don't need glue to put the eyelashes on. Did you know this?
Stick press on or stick on?
No. No sticky at all.
Okay.
They make a little eyeliner, right? That goes right above there. And it's got like metal in it. And the eyelashes are magnetic. And they stick to that eyeliner.
Wow.
Yeah. How about that?
That's innovation.
That, my friend, is innovation.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't know that. See, you know more than you think you know.
That's about all I know, bub. That's about all I know. Anyway, Adam, it's Adam, right?
It's Adam.
Okay.
It's pronounced that.
So let's go ahead and get this thing started.
Nice.
We've got NBA basketball, right? That's pretty much what we have going on. We might get into a little Reds stuff, nothing to do with the actual Reds, but the departure. I'm not officially yet until what, the end of this week?
It's done.
It's done. He's officially done.
He is now the Minnesota Twins beat writer.
Bobby Nightingale Jr. is officially a beat writer for the Minnesota Twins, his hometown. Good for him. Happy for him. Very disappointed that, and we'll have him on again.
Sure.
We will for sure have him on again.
This is now podcast.
Yeah, we'll just talk baseball with him, right? Because somewhere down the line, the Twins are going to have an extra innings game, and they're going to stick some ding dong on second base,
Kirby Puckett. Or
You know, hey,
somebody.
listen. So we play in baseball tournaments with the boy, right? Let's get the hold on. I'll get into this. We'll get into what they call the California rules. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how bad it is. They call it the California rules. We'll get into that story as we go.
You ready for this?
But I'll tell you what, if I was any more ready, I'd be prepared.
Okay. I'll think about that on my drive home. I found this I'm sure can be found anywhere, but I found this at a large I
Sam's
suppose
Club,
no.
Costco.
I suppose you would call it like a large hardware store.
Oh,
This is
like
at
this.
Menards.
Oh, the Menards.
Shout out
Okay.
Menards. We've got brownie brittle with Reese's Pieces.
Wow, we've got something I've never seen before.
Brownie brittle, which I don't
Brownie
know. I don't know what that
brittle.
is.
So I assume like we've had peanut brittle on this podcast,
Oh yeah.
didn't we?
It's just
Why did we have peanut brittle on this podcast?
something with peanut, like Reese's peanut.
Was it
with
something
peanut
like that?
brittle in
Yeah.
it or something.
So this is brownie brittle, so it's just a chunk of brownie, like a hard
Like a brownie chip. yeah,
a hard piece of brownie
a
chip.
petrified brownie. Yeah.
Petrified brownie. Yeah. I mean, for all we know,
I got such a weak look. I got two
Well, what's it?
and
Two thirds.
quarters of yellow Reese's Pieces in this.
That's
Joker.
rough, bro. You got I got a
Whoa.
fistful, bub.
That's a
I got a
real
fistful.
piece.
I got about 12 of them in there.
That's a real piece.
I got about 12 of them in there. All right, so California rules baseball. Okay, go ahead, take your bite, get your first reaction. California, what we call, yeah, careful. This thing's hard as a rock. You're gonna get flakes breaking off everywhere. They call them California rules, and you stick a man on second, and you start the inning with one out. When we go into extra innings in these tournaments, that's how they do it. Try to get the games moving. You know, they don't want to go. And if you're in bracket play, you have to have a winner, but they want the games moving. So if it goes to extra innings, man on second, but one out. So that being said, we had a baseball game yesterday. And we got was going quick. Now, in league play, if no game is after you, that game just goes. You just play. There is no quote unquote California rules. We went to extra innings. We got walked off in extra innings, but there was no man on second, no one out. And the coach for the other team played college baseball in Southern Alabama, and he sounded like he was from Southern Alabama.
Yes.
And he said,
Love that.
California rules, boy. What you talking about? Ain't no California. Sounds like it's what is California rules? And I told him, I said, well, I don't know if we're playing it or not. It's man on second, one out. Yeah, that sounds like some California rules. Yeah, California. And he turned around and walked away. And I was like, cool. I don't like him either.
Sounds like he's from Louisiana.
Sorry, I don't know. Southern Alabama, Louisiana is basically the
Close.
same thing,
Yeah,
man. I mean,
true.
you're you know, at some point you're 2 feet away from each other.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. They both have Cajun people, probably.
I guarantee it. So he wasn't Cajun. He just had a big, deep Southern accent, and I can't do a Southern accent.
Nice.
Can't do it.
No, it's
You're
good.
very good at your Southern accent. Your Southern accent is impeccable.
I don't know if it's that good. I've practiced it a lot.
Mine
Well,
always. So let's pretend like you were that coach. I told you what he said. Give it a go. Hey, coach, what are we doing for extra innings? Are we doing the California rule thing?
California. See, under pressure. I
On the
can't do it.
spot.
Yeah.
On the spot.
California. California.
California.
California rules. Nah, see, it's I can't think Alabama. I can't think Southern. I just got to think like hillbilly. That's
Yeah.
why. That's why.
Yeah, just think hillbilly.
California rule. Yeah, you gotta like combine you can't do separate syllables. California rules. We talking about.
I like that.
I don't know. So anyway, this guy's like, what are you talking about? California rules.
That was
That's-
it.
that's
That was it. He was pretty much saying that sounds like something that was made up in California. Is
Yeah.
basically what he said.
I
And we
gotta-
didn't play it, and we lost in extra innings.
Do you feel like you would have had a better chance to win if you played the California rules?
No.
Let me tell you something off the top of my head without really thinking hard about it. I like that. I like the sound of that a lot better than what Major League Baseball does. If you're putting a guy on second, you gotta give him an out or something. You gotta make it harder. You can't. I mean, a guy in scoring position with no outs That's automatic.
Mhm.
Pretty good, huh?
No, they're good enough.
Good enough. So
That being said, Adam, you've already ate one of these things. How are you rating the brownie brittle Reese's Pieces?
I'm gonna go with 7.7.
Hmm.
Kind of low for me.
Yeah, that's very low. I'm gonna go. I mean, it's not Reese's-ish at all.
No,
It's a stale brownie.
It's a piece of chocolate.
It's a stale brownie, not stale necessarily as just a hard brownie. It's not stale though.
I'd call it brittle.
It's a good name. I almost like somebody else thought of that. I feel like somebody else might have thought of that at
Off
one
the top of
point.
my head, I'm thinking brittle.
So brownie brittle Reese's. I'm gonna go with an 8.5.
Wow.
I eat all of these. I don't have a problem with this at all.
Notice I put them a lot closer to you there.
I'll eat
all day
more.
long. Keep
There ain't
going.
no doubt about it. I'm gonna eat them. No doubt.
Not bad. Not bad. Like we always say. Not bad. Just not my favorite.
Just not Reese's. When you were
8.5.
walking by this, did you go, "Oh my god, I gotta get this"?
Yes, only because I saw it as something different that I haven't
That's what I
seen.
mean, right?
Yeah.
Not like, "Oh my god, that looks delicious."
Right.
Anymore, when I see something I've never seen, I always walk by, and if I see orange and yellow at the corner of my eye, I flip my head around, like, please be something new.
Yeah. Yep. I just saw that and I'm like, I think my brother even pointed to it or something. I'm like, oh, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna grab that. They got like manly tools and stuff like that. I got some candy from Menards. My dad got some flooring, and my brother got some woodworking stuff, and I walked out of there with
Brownie
some
brittle.
brownie brittle and a big pack of one of those wafers,
Those
those
nasty
Voortman's
things.
yeah,
I hate
like
'em,
I
man.
love those things.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Look, Menards is the only place you can go and get a front door, a gallon of milk,
stop
and a
saying
pair of
that.
socks. It's the only place you can go and do that, man. And they're gonna give you $15 back, but you can only spend it at Menards. You gotta come back to Menards.
Both my dad and my brother had rebate coupons.
Yep, that's how they get you back.
For.
That's how they get you back.
My
man.
dad does huge projects at his house all the time, so he had $500 in rebates because it was 10% of whatever he spent last time.
Wow,
Or something like that, 20% or 40%, whatever it is.
unbelievable. But that's how they get you back, man. You're gonna be back.
Yep,
you're gonna be back.
I like it. It's a good spot. I'll go there and just walk around, take a look at stuff.
Go up on the second floor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. As a matter of fact, that day went to 2 Menards, Florence and
Whoa!
Bloomingdale.
Wow.
2 Menards. Because
Didn't have enough flooring at
did
one.
not have enough of the flooring he wanted at one. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That sounds like a issue I've had at the depot before.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You might have to go to a couple depots or a
Mhm.
couple of Lowe's. But yeah, it was still a good time. Still
Nice.
a good time. Came away with some brownie brittle.
All right, let's talk some sports. This is a sports podcast anyway. Adam, it's been 2 weeks since we've been here. The LA Lakers were swept.
Yeah.
By
the Denver Nuggets.
Which surprisingly, they were in 3 of the 4 games. Like they potentially could have won 3 of the 4 games.
Yep.
And I swear to this moment in time, if LeBron James could shoot a free throw, just make clutch free throws. Like I don't need you to go 20 for 20 in a game, but I need you to go 8 for 8 in the last minute. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference. You can shoot 70%, but you can't shoot 70% in the last minute of the game.
It's been the biggest pitfall of his
forever. And if that happens, there's at least 2 games that maybe they don't win, but they are at least tied or take a lead going into the last minute of the game. That being said, the Denver Nuggets are really, really good. And I have not looked. Today is the first game of the finals against the Miami Heat, who were up 3-0. And if you ask Jimmy Butler one of these next 4 games, I'm just going to kind of relax a little bit because I'm not saying he didn't show up. He was still there, but he wasn't playing like he was in the first or second round. He wasn't playing like he was in the first couple games of that Celtics. Now, in the last, 8 minutes of game 7, Jimmy Butler was Jimmy.
Oh yeah.
What was it? 13 points in 2 minutes or something like that he had. And that's in the final game of it. So he did what he needed to do. Jimmy Butler has been unbelievable for them in the Heat move on. Thoughts? What do you think about the way that whole series went down?
After the first 3, and I said this to you not too long ago, when a series goes 3-0, I'm done with it. Even if I'm rooting for the team down 3-0, down 0-3 or whatever, I'm done. I just win the next one. Let's move on. Both of those series were 3-0 at the same time at one time. And then in Denver finished the sweep. And then I don't know, Boston figured out just enough. Those games, just about all those games were really good in the Eastern Conference Finals. And except for the last one.
Except for game 7 when they went into Boston and beat the brakes off of them.
Yeah. Which was really surprising. I mean, the Celtics were definitely the favorite going into that game because, I mean, it felt like most people were saying
they won 3 straight.
They won 3 straight, huge momentum. Now they figured it out.
And they're at home.
The Celtics are going to win this because they're the more talented team anyway. And I'll be honest, I mean, I wasn't convinced of it, but I kind of thought the same thing.
So you want to see you said this a couple weeks ago. If series goes 3-0, just get it over with. I don't want it. When the series eventually ties 3-3, when do you become more invested? Is it 3-2 or 3-3?
3-3.
3-3. You're still not invested at 3-2.
I'm just not. I'm a little. I don't even know. I don't know if.
I mean, if you're in the playoffs, especially in the conference finals, you're not winning 4 straight games. There's nobody coming back and winning 4 straight games. It's not happening.
It's very, very hard to do that. Yeah, I was like, okay, Miami's playing really well right now. It's crazy. All these guys that are undrafted or not drafted very high and that kind of stuff. They don't have superstars. It's fun to see. Everybody likes Eric Spoelstra now, and they're always at least a good team. It's fun that they're the 8 seed. They're the 8 seed that beat the number 1 seed and then went on to win 2 more series now, 8 seed in the finals. But I was, when it got to 7, I'm like, okay, now I'm excited because you know how I feel about game 7s. Give me 4 or give me 7.
And game 7, make it a good one. That didn't happen. That was a blowout from the beginning.
But from the Celtics perspective,
Tatum got hurt early.
He did. I thought he looked
Brown,
like he was fine for a while, and then it seemed like it bothered him.
Jaylen Brown looked like he forgot that they played on that day.
And honestly, in certain games, both of those guys looked not totally there. And at the end of games, both of those guys in that series had plays where they're trying to go one-on-one and they just miss dribble and just lose the ball trying to dribble.
That in these playoffs, and maybe it's been going on for a while. In these playoffs, I didn't watch a ton of it, but I did watch a few of the Lakers games. I watched quite a few of the Heat games in the first round and the second round. And there's a lot of that at the end of games where these guys, like, the ball just dribbles off a foot or a pass that is so, like, some of these passes these guys are making are 15 feet over the guy they're throwing to's head. And I get it that these guys are long and athletic and it's a difficult play to make, but it seems like at the end of the game, play at their best. And it doesn't always feel like that happened in a lot of these playoffs. It's a lot of sloppy basketball.
Yep. Which is disappointing. I mean, you want to see the stars make plays at the end of games like that. And I agree with you. It seems like it's happening a little bit more lately for some reason. But there's all this talk about what's going to happen with Joe Mazzulla. People when they got down 3-0, everybody's like, Joe Mazzulla is not fit for this. He's not ready to be a coach in a big time, a big time organization with a great team like this yet. But then they won 3 straight games and we're playing for a chance to go to the finals then after that. So I don't know how much I think people are still kind of wondering that, but we'll see what Brad Stevens decides to do. It's less than 1 year in. I think you got to give the guy another shot.
You don't hire the guy to get to the 7th game of the conference finals. He did part of the reason they didn't get swept.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. And it's, I feel like they need another shooter, because when Tatum or Brown are driving and they've got to give it up because they're getting doubled or whatever, and all the, it's like, it feels like the same play happens in so many basketball games now in the NBA. You have the drive, somebody comes over and helps, you kick it, you swing it, a guy gets an open shot, an open three. But when it's Al Horford and Marcus Smart shooting most of those shots,
Marcus Smart was shooting most of those threes.
That's not a good thing. It's not a good thing.
And that was a game 6. I mean, he was on fire. But he's not a shooter. He's a professional basketball player and he can get hot.
Same with Al Horford. He's not a shooter either. He can make threes and that's why he shoots them. That's why he shoots corner threes. But he's not the shooter you want shooting high volume threes. No. And especially late in games when you really need them. So they've got defensively, I think they've got all the pieces. They've got to figure out how to put it all together, I think, sometimes. But offensively, they need another. Derek White should have never left the floor. I think Robert Williams should have never left the floor for them. Derek White was their best player in that series, I think. I mean, he had the tip. He had the tip. Game 6 that moved him on. He's one of their best defensive players, and he was one of their best offensive players for sure in that series. Anyway, they need to add at least another shooter, I feel like. And I don't know. We'll see. I mean, the Celtics are the Celtics. They'll figure out some way to get to stay good. I think they're very rarely not a good team, but they've got to make some kind of a personnel adjustment. And I don't think it's the head coach. I think for now, you try something else to keep the core together. People are talking about Jaylen Brown's going to get traded to the Hawks or the Spurs or somebody like that. If he goes to the Spurs, I'll be fine with that. But
Jaylen Brown doesn't want to be there. All the times this entire season where all of these people are asking him, when they went on their little spurt where they lost like 7 out of 12 or 7 out of 10 or whatever it was bad, and he's making comments to the effect of, well, if they want me here, I guess we'll find out, and they're going to show me if they want me here or not, and making those kind of comments and stuff like that. And he doesn't show up in game 7. He's in and out, just like Tatum. Tatum was in and out the whole time. Humbly, he's one of the best players in the world. That was my favorite quote ever, by the way, after he had 3.5 terrible quarters and played like a great 4 minutes. And humbly, I'm one of the greatest players in the world. That's the silliest thing in the world. But he is. I mean, honestly, he can be. But anyway, my point is I just don't see Jaylen Brown coming back. It doesn't seem like he wants to be there. Or that he feels like anybody else wants him to be there.
I'm pretty sure he's still under contract, so I think he would have to be traded. But I mean, if he wants,
that was the whole point of the talks, was were they going to re-sign him?
Maybe unless there's an option or something. I would have to look that up. I feel like I should know that, but I don't. But I feel like I've seen enough stuff in the last couple of days about somebody getting him in a trade. So maybe that's why I'm thinking that. But whatever happens, you might be right. If he doesn't want to be there, he can have that conversation with Brad Stevens and be like, "Can you find a place for me?" Because
and get something. Yeah, get something for me.
I think he's crazy if he if he leaves. He was definitely their best player at times this year.
Yeah.
Even in the playoffs, that he's had a couple incredible games. And I mean, there are times where he'll be in the game and Tatum sits and he can take over. I mean, he has that skill set. But
Absolutely.
so I don't know. I don't know. He's got to be careful about what he wants, because if you end up in Atlanta or
Grass
San
ain't
Antonio,
always greener on the other side, brother. I don't know. You go San Antonio and you got
I mean, I'm so
whoever this
excited.
7'30" guy. What's his name again?
Victor Wembanyama.
Wembanyama.
I call him Wemby.
Wemby. Yeah, just like the Greek freak. Nobody could say Antetokounmpo for a long time.
Yep.
Don't worry, everybody will get this dude's name down too.
I'm hearing people say Joker to talk about Jokic because they don't want to have to say Jokic or Jokic or figure out. There are professionals that cover the NBA that are saying just calling him Joker every time,
Yeah,
because they just don't want to
Yeah.
have to like just ask him.
Jokic.
You guys have
Jokic. His
have
name's
the
Jokic.
Jokic.
Yeah,
It's not hard. Anyway, that's funny. But anyway, I don't know what the Celtics are gonna do, but they were in the Eastern Conference Finals 4 of the 6 years since Tatum and Brown have been there together.
Yeah.
So it's not. I don't think you can feel like that's a failure. I mean, that's
No.
really impressive. If you're right there, figure out the next piece. Figure out what to add to that.
There's something missing. What is it?
Yeah.
What is it? Maybe Ray Allen will come back out of retirement for a little while.
Bring Ray Allen. He's a shooter. Bring Ray Allen and Reggie Miller back out of retirement.
Why not Paul Pierce? Stick him in the corner too.
Yeah.
Just because you don't like Paul Pierce doesn't mean that.
I love Paul Pierce when he was playing.
Like I said,
over the years, I was like,
when he was playing. All right, so the finals is here. Denver and Miami. Parker has already been very vocal to me, my son. He's going Miami in 6.
Ooh.
I think that's crazy. There are so many people in this country that are taking the Miami Heat. And I don't know if it's the love of the underdog, the Jimmy Butler effect, or the fact that nobody knows anything about Denver.
Yeah.
But this Denver team is damn near unstoppable. They swept the team that was the best team in the NBA over the last 2 months, a month and a half.
Yeah.
And they swept them.
Right.
I'm going to tell you right now, but they're the number 1 seed in the better conference for a reason.
That's right. They're playing as good as Miami looked in the first 3 games of that series in the Eastern Conference Finals. Denver has been playing pristine basketball. I mean, they are firing on all cylinders. They're very tight right now. Their offense looks fantastic. Jamal Murray is back to being an all-star level player.
He looks like he did in the bubble.
Yes. He's
before the ACL or whatever he had done.
He's been awesome. Jokic has been awesome. The two of them play very well together. And then you get great play out of guys like Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. You're getting really good play out of all those guys right now.
Michael Porter Jr. was a number 1 overall pick, or projected to be a number 1 overall pick for his senior year in high school, his freshman year in college, but injuries, do things. He was still like the number 3 pick, I want to say, or something. Maybe he was even still 1 or 2. I don't know. He was still a high pick, but his injuries are gone. And that kid, it's years maybe since he was drafted, and he is like getting to watch this guy. Michael Porter Jr. could be a star. He could. He's got the potential. Watching him play, you've got, obviously, Jokic is unbelievable. And
10 assists in the first half tonight. Game 1.
Sounds about right. And what's his name? The Kentucky boy with that shoots the 3 arrows all the time. Jamal Murray is fantastic. But I truly believe that this Michael Porter Jr. kid is going to be the difference in this series.
Very well could. And he's gotten a lot better defensively lately. Aaron Gordon's been really good defensively.
He's been a lockdown defender. Gordon has been a huge defender he was on LeBron most of the time.
Yeah. Yep. Those guys are just playing really, really good basketball together right now. And 105-94. So they won. Denver won game one now. Now that we know that. Denver in 5.
Denver in 5. So you think Miami sneaks a game? I think Denver sweeps. I think this is Denver in 4. Miami, great run. You just had to go 7. You're playing right away. You're shorthanded. You don't have a lot of your stars. You've gritted out so many of these games. I love Miami. I love this team. I love the way Jimmy Butler plays. If they were full strength, maybe it'd be a different story.
Now, they're saying that Tyler Hero could be back for game 3. That could be a big boost.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe even game 2.
He's still got to be in basketball shape.
There's 7 days between games for some reason. It's not 7, but it's like 3 days between. Like the one next game's not till Sunday.
The thing that cracks me up is there's like 2 or 3 days in between game 1 and game 2, and they're both in Denver. And then there's 1 game in between flying from Denver to Miami. I don't understand that part.
I don't.
It should be 1 game separating if you're in the same city, and give them an extra day with flights. I don't understand that. They did that in the Western Conference Finals too. Didn't make any sense.
And I don't know why you wouldn't put as many games on a 3-day interval. Try to make it Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, or something like that. But anyway, it's so that you don't have to start every game at 8:30, which means it's going to really start at 8:45, and everybody's up until 11 o'clock. That was kind of fast, I guess. But anyway, finals are here. We're 1 game in.
I'll take Denver in 4. You've got Denver in 5. Parker's got Miami in 6.
There we go.
Okay, that sounds good.
You know, one thing I was glad about the Celtics extending that series to 7 games was so that the finals didn't start a couple of days earlier, because I went to my very first rap concert this week.
I want to talk about this. I'm pretty excited. All right.
I feel like the finals would have been going on. I would have missed a game.
And that would have been
Tuesday night.
Yeah, it would have been terrible. So I've got a question. I know a few people that have been to rap concerts. I'm a huge hip hop guy myself. You are a hip hop fellow. First off, who'd you go see?
Harry Mack.
Harry Mack. Harry Mack. Help me out.
He is he made himself famous online.
Okay.
He's on.
So he's a new guy.
There's a thing called Omegle, which I don't know anything about, but I guess it's
Omegle?
I think it's like a webcam thing, and it's like you can randomly talk to people on other webcams or something. So which can be dangerous, but there must be something with this website that you can't do anything inappropriate or anything.
I feel like you can do anything you want on
maybe. I've never.
You just press a button and get out of it, probably. But
I don't know anything about it except for he goes on this, and he also goes out to like different places, like where there's going to be people around. He went to like the Lincoln Memorial. He was like in Washington D.C. and he lives in LA, so he'll go to like some busy place in LA or something, and he'll just go up to people, to groups of people, and say, hey, I'm a freestyle rapper. Do you guys mind if I do a freestyle rap for you? And if he gets a yes, then he'll be like, okay, well, I need a word from each one of you, a challenging word, so that I'm freestyling this. I haven't written it.
Yeah.
And each person will give him a random word, and he will rap and use those words in his rap. This is the most talented rapper I've ever seen in my life.
He's more talented than Eminem.
He's more talented than Eminem. He's more talented than anybody I've ever seen, because all of his raps are freestyles, and he's unbelievable.
I love it. That's awesome.
I feel like most freestyle rap isn't really that great.
Well, most freestyle rap isn't 100% freestyle.
Exactly.
99% of it they've pre-written, and they've got stuff in their head already, and that's already done. You can tell by the words that are used. And the guys that do it, they go on Whack 100 and they're like, all right, let's hit this freestyle. And they go for like 3 minutes. And you're like, you didn't freestyle that.
Right. That's why I'm so impressed with this guy's skills, because you can tell he has to. And then me and Joe can be there and he can approach us and we'll all give him a word. Also, just come up with like he'll say something, something, something with the Y on his hat. And that rhymes with something that he just like, you didn't ask him to say that, but he's doing stuff he's seeing around.
It's incredible thought. Like that's your brain has to move faster than other people's brains move.
And I saw him on a podcast not too long ago explaining how his brain works and how he associates things and comes up with them so fast. He truly has like a unique brain to be able to do that. It's unbelievable.
So Ludacris is coming to Hollywood Casino in Cincinnati. I'm the biggest Ludacris fan there is. I'm not the biggest, but I love Ludacris. He's here with I don't know, a couple, I think Fabulous maybe, or somebody like that
from the 90s.
Yeah, and then somebody else. I can't remember who all it was. Anyway, so buddy of mine's like, hey, who wants to go to this? It only holds 3,500 people. It's small venue. These dudes are gonna be there. Chris, I know you love Ludacris. Oh, by the way, they're $200 for standing room only seats, and in the back of the concert for $200 to do. I mean, I'm gonna listen to it. I'll listen to him on a headset.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's
like
too much.
I'll get my Walkman out.
I'm glad you said that you chose not to do that.
No, I'm not doing that.
I just heard somebody say they were somewhere at some music festival, I think, and they ended up seeing Ludacris. This was recent. They said he totally phoned it in. He did not give an effort.
The dude's so 50 years old.
He didn't know what city he was in. Name of the city.
It's even better.
He like
I love every bit of that. Old boy's running. He's just trying to make a buck, dude. Old boy's just making money right now.
Has enough.
He's got enough, but why not get a little bit more? And nobody cares. All you got to do is come out here and go, back up.
I've got 5 Ludacris albums. I was super, super into them too. But I just heard that in the last like 2 weeks, somebody was saying that.
I'm a huge Ludacris fan. He is probably my favorite rapper. I love Eminem. I think Eminem lyrically is insane. Ludacris, Eminem, like if you listen to a song, the song makes sense throughout the whole thing, right? I mean, maybe not 100%, but 96% of the song is a story, or at least it all is about the same thing. Unlike a lot of these raps, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like I used to think Nelly I used to love listening to Nelly, and then I started like actually listening to my man's just throwing words together that and some of them aren't even real words. You know what I mean?
I'm excited to I'm not gonna annoy you with it, but I'm gonna send you some videos because he's all over YouTube, he's all over TikTok.
This Harry Mack guy.
Harry Mack.
I just looked him up. He looks, I mean, yeah, everything says Harry Mack freestyle, best freestyle rapper, freestyle, all this stuff.
And so this show, he ended up doing, I think, 2 written songs. The whole rest of the show was made up off the top of his head. It was all really, really good. And the very first part of it was the best. And I have a video, and I should have gotten a better video because I could have. First of all, he had a DJ with him that was playing all the beats and stuff. Not so good.
Nah.
Sorry, but not that good.
It's so you don't have to be sorry.
Anyway,
being honest.
But when he was just playing the beats and Harry was going off,
yeah,
that was good. But the guy opened for like half hour and just played like, hits that everybody old Snoop Dogg song.
Let me ask, all right. I don't understand.
And was just going, everybody get up when I say rap, you say music, rap. Like that, like that kind of, I'm like,
wow, that's bad. So I don't understand. He was the one who came up with the beats. He was the one that put them all together. And it was way more difficult to do back then because you had to, mix in all these different things. And you were literally doing a lot of stuff on the fly. It's DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, all that stuff. DJ was first in all these things. Okay. Nowadays, all DJ does is play a song and then slowly mix in the next song into it. He's not doing
And
anything.
I think it's all pre-done.
Yeah,
I
a
think he
lot of
puts
it's
it together.
a lot of it's on a
Like,
computer. He just hits play and then maybe he.
and then he makes it look like he's hitting buttons.
I
and doing
totally agree
stuff
with
and
that.
doing this thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, Diesel's doing it, man. Big Shaq Diesel's is a DJ, and he gets the party, you know. And then all of a sudden they
Put
boom.
your playlist
All of a
on.
sudden you boom, bring the music down. Zoop, hit it back up or hit pause. And wait. Go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
At the part everybody knows, you put
Yep.
it down, they
Yep.
sing it, and you're
Put it back.
this awesome
Going.
DJ.
Yeah.
Anyway, but this guy finally, after a half hour of that stuff, he announces Harry Mack, and you hear Harry Mack's voice, and then you see him come up on the screen, and then it took like a couple seconds, and everybody realized he's in the back.
Oh, that's cool.
So everybody turns around. He's coming down the steps. This is at Bogarts. I don't know what the last time you were at Bogarts. It's been 20 years for me.
Wow, is that Bogarts? Okay.
Bogarts.
Nice. So he's coming out.
Which
Like
I
he,
did
if
not
you're coming
like.
out of the if you're coming down the steps at Bogarts from up top, but you're going through the crowd. There ain't no other way to get to the main stage.
That was the cool thing. He came down the steps. All right. It's only 5 steps or whatever,
Yeah.
4 or 5 steps. But he, and there's no seating there. It's a huge
you just
open
a
room,
big open room.
which I did not like. At 41 years old, all the people packed in. This hammered drunk guy that couldn't stand up kept running into me, was just barreling through people to get his video because nobody else existed.
Yeah.
Anyway, people smelled bad. Anyway,
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
so, but Harry Mack comes down and he just starts very slowly walking through the room, through the crowd, and is rapping 100 miles an hour about everything he sees. This guy and this red shirt and the C on his hat and this guy. And it's so cool. And he doesn't stumble. He doesn't hesitate ever.
Yeah.
These are flowing constantly. And he can go for 15 minutes probably, and just continuously. And it's almost all incredible.
See, I like that. Like you got guys like Eminem and Ludacris and some of the greats of all time, whether it's KRS-One or whoever. That's all written down. All that stuff's written down. Like real, true off the top. When you hear anybody do that, really, truly do the freestyle, I'm gonna tell you, hey, what I'm saying is the elder on your shirt and the water in your drink. It's a lot of pausing and uhs and that. So to hear, like to get somebody who's just flows consistently, I'm excited to listen to this guy.
He's so good, man. And so he did that. So he's doing that, walking slowly through the crowd. So he comes where he's about probably 10 feet away from me.
Okay.
He's really close. And people like there's like security people like kind of like, okay,
yep.
You guys
coming this way. Yep.
And then there's a spotlight and a camera guy right on him, so you can still see everything. And so he's like really close, and I'm like 3 people back from where he is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa. And so I'm like trying to get a video thing, and the guy keeps like walking in front of me and stuff. And then 30 seconds after I stopped that, I'm like, okay, good enough. He's this close.
Are
he
you
stopped
serious?
in front of me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, okay, I have a Chicago Bulls basketball shirt on.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's gonna say something about this.
Right.
So somebody actually kind of like 2 people kind of like stepped in a little bit.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like he could still see me clearly.
But
and he said something about the guy standing right next to me. But anyway, I was that close to him to see him perform that close.
That's cool.
It was really, really cool.
That's cool.
And then he went through the crowd and then down some steps, and the camera, this was like one of the coolest parts. The camera kept following him. He went down the steps, backstage, up this other flight of steps,
to get back on
this
the stage.
hallway, up this other flight of steps. The whole time he's by himself now, and through these hallways and stairs, and he's I'm spitting fire like this. There's the fire exit sign, and he's like, as he's walking through, he's just like seeing stuff on the walls, and just like,
that's cool.
It's so good, man. So then finally he comes out of the curtain onto the stage, and everybody's going crazy. And so he was really good, man. And then there's a QR code, you scan it and it asks you for like a word and a topic and your name. And so you can submit that. So then like a couple times he would stop and they would put up somebody's name and the word they posted.
Yeah.
And so he would be like, okay. And so he would like rap for a couple minutes and he would incorporate the word. He might incorporate the person's name
or whatever. Yeah.
And then he did a couple times where he had people walk around and give like 3 people a backstage pass, and they took him backstage and he brought him out on stage. He said, okay, we're on topics now. I'm going to try to do a whole song on the topics that you guys give me. And so like, and he used like 3 people to do like, okay, I need something, when I need a problem that you have, and somebody will give him a problem. He's like, the next person I need, tell me, a place that you go on vacation or your favorite thing or whatever. And so they would put those things up.
Yeah.
And he did a whole like 5-minute song using those topics and those words that those people had.
Wow.
The very last one was amazing. It was like, I mean, I almost cried. It was these 3 people came out and he's like, give me, I forget what the topics were, but he's like, give me something. And this girl goes like, well, she ends up telling this long and people started getting bored, but she tells it, well, my mom died in 2011 and she had this, and her last words to me. He did that, and the other guy that was with her, or there was another girl that her grandpa died, and he at one time gave her this camera, and she got really into photography because of that, and this memory and stuff. He did his last song, almost one of his last songs he did was using these people's personal special stories and made a whole rap song about it off the top of his head. It was amazing.
Wow.
So he did that, and then he closed it out and then came back on, like people were cheering for an encore. He came back out. They put a couple more words from earlier that people submitted and stuff. It was so good. It was so good.
I gotta check this dude out.
Yeah.
I gotta check this guy out. So when I heard when you were saying you went to a rap concert, I'm thinking, oh man, I wonder who he went to.
Yeah.
Was it Snoop? Was it Dr. Dre? Was it
I don't
somebody?
think I would go to any of those anymore.
I don't think I would go just because I don't know. I'm not a concert guy anyway.
I'm not
in any way,
either,
shape,
really.
or form.
I went to this one. I'm going to Earth, Wind, and Fire in a month. That's it.
I just don't. I don't want to be like, if I had a little box somewhere and it was like 8 seats, and I had 4 people with me, and there was room.
Yeah,
I'm down for that.
Box.
I'm totally in for that. Like I've been to, what's the one down there? 52. What is that? Right off Kellogg Avenue.
Oh, Riverbend.
I've been to Riverbend, and they've got like the little box areas, and there's like 8 seats in it, and there was like 4 of us, and it was like, oh, I went and watched Sublime with Rome and 311, and I was like, nice. This is awesome. Like this was great.
311
space. 311 is, by the way, best sounding live band I've ever been a part of. It sounded like I was listening to their CD.
That's what you want, and that's not.
It never happens. It never happens. Either you can't hear the lead singer, you can only hear the lead singer, or you can't. Like it's never feels right. The voice was great, and you knew it wasn't lip sung, because he would just start talking in between, and it was the same loudness and the same crispness coming out. And it's like, oh no, that 311 was. That was legit. That was pretty awesome.
My brother's seen them 84 times, I think.
Yeah, 311 live was probably my favorite sounding live concert I've been to. Most of the concerts I go to, I've never been to. Like, I always listen to hip hop. That was what I always listened to. I don't really care about country. My wife likes country. Half the time I get stuck in the back, not knowing any of the songs, everybody around just singing, and I just say every 4 words and make up the rest, or have conversations with people around me about. Those are my favorite things to do, is talk to other people around me. One time this dude walks up to me, and I just started talking to him, and we just instinctivly knew we were going to mess with his girlfriend together. We just instinctively knew it was going down. I was like, what up, dude? How are you? He's like, yo, what's up? I said, Nick, right? He's like, no, it's Jeremy. And I was like, that's right. Chris, what's up, bro? Been a long time. He's like, yes, it's grade school, right? And I was like, yeah. He goes, man, I'll never forget that when you're my dad, because they took you out of the game. And I was like, that was insane.
Wait, this is a guy you didn't know?
No, we just walked up and started talking to each other. And I was like, it was the craziest day of my life, man. I never did get to apologize to you for that. I said, that was so crazy. And
That
we're
is your
sitting here,
soulmate,
and
dude.
this guy's girlfriend is like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Her face is looking at us. No way, that didn't happen. I was like, oh man, it was crazy. And he's over here trying to tell his dad, chill out. I was trying to tell my dad, chill out. And it's like, we're what, 10, 11? He was like, I think we're 11. I was like, yeah, we were 11 years old. Like it had just never stopped. And then his
Beautiful
girlfriend
improv.
turned around and walked away. And he was like, that's the best thing that's ever happened to me. I was like, it's good to meet you, man. Good to see you. Talk to you later, bro. And it was over.
Oh my
That was
god,
the end of it.
that is an absolute Chris Witt thing
Yeah.
there.
KJ, we had another dude named KJ. I walked up to him and I was like, what up, dude? How are you? And I said, I ain't seen you since grade school, bro. And he's like, yo, wait a minute, Nick? And I was like, yeah, I ain't seen you in a minute, man. And he's like, come here, come see my dad, dude. Hey, dad, it's Nick from grade school. This dude really thought I was this guy.
Really?
And this dude's name was KJ. I'll never forget KJ. Me and Mike will talk about KJ all the time. I totally sat there like, oh my God, it's been so long, bro. I said, it was so perfect. You just ask the right questions, they answer them, and then you agree. It's that simple. It's so easy. Gave him a big old hug. Told him I'll talk to him later. Yeah, good old
Oh,
KJ.
man.
But that's what I do at concerts. I don't know. I don't listen to. I'm not like, I listen to music in the car. Or I listen to music. Actually, I don't listen to music in the car. I listen to music when I cut grass. That's about the only time I listen to music. And outside, or when I don't. That's about it. Otherwise, I'm listening to talk radio. I don't care. So I love hip hop. I love rap, but I don't think I would. I don't know.
Let me tell you another reason why this seemed like it was going to be an okay show to go to, because I guess I didn't really know for sure, but all the videos I've watched of this guy, my favorite thing about him, not only his skills are unbelievable, he's a really positive guy.
So that's the other thing too. I love that, because you think of a rap concert or something like.
There's
We-
a picture of the kind of people that are going to be there that I have.
I don't want to be in with a bunch of whatever you want to think is there. I don't want to be there with it. And it's the same thing with, like, I love Pantera. I would never have gone to a Pantera concert.
I know, me too.
And I loved lots of, like, I don't want to go and get beat up, not beat up literally, but like in a mosh pit and all this stuff. Like, my wife loves this group, New Found Glory. We go to watch this New Found Glory a couple years ago. And I spent she wanted to sneak up to the front. No, let's not sneak up to the front. My left arm hurt so bad because I spent the entire time just trying to protect her and the other girl that was with her, just shoving people off because all they want to do is jump and bang into you and try to knock everybody over. I don't want to do that.
Nope.
Stop. Get away. I don't.
Not how I want to listen to music.
I want to just enjoy it. I don't want to be in any, I don't want to feel uncomfortable. I just want to listen. I want to vibe out and listen. Right.
Yes,
So I like that positive energy stuff. If that's how he is, everybody that knows me, that's my whole thing with everything. Like, positive energy is everything for me. Like that whole
You would love that.
Eugenio Suarez, positive vibes only, baby. I say it all the time.
Yeah.
Positive vibes only. Baseball team, all the parents know we don't use the R word when it comes to a baseball game, unless it's really dry outside and they could use a little bit of rain. We don't talk about rain. If you, the second you go, oh man, I it'll be Monday. Oh boy, dad will come up to me, man, looks like we might get some rain this weekend. I said, what are you talking about, bro? It's gonna be fine. Positive, baby, positive vibes only. Don't use that R word in front of me. We playing ball this weekend. It's 5 days away. What are you talking about? Guess what happens? We play. Talk about, well, if it rains out, do you know when we're going to reschedule it? What? It's 5 days away. No, don't talk to me about that right now.
Weather
Positive
changes
vibes
too
only,
much.
baby. Positive vibes only.
Yeah, but this guy is he's a very positive guy, and his every time he's talking about something that he sees, especially people and stuff, it's always like
He's not making fun of them or anything like
it's,
that.
It's I love my man's fit, this and this. Like it's people walking by and it's people coming up to watch him as he's going on.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's always a good positive thing about whatever he sees.
Right, right.
And so anyway, that's really cool. And he does, like, he cussed some like at the show, but most of his videos online and when he's out in public and stuff,
Yeah.
he hardly ever cusses.
Yeah.
He does most of this stuff clean, and he's that good.
Yeah.
So
I feel like people make that sound like that's so difficult to do. I mean, there's more to come up with an adjective that's not.
but especially in rap though, like it's such a big
That's
part
just
of
how. Yeah, I mean, I guess.
and it's an easy filler too. I mean, he used the F word a couple of times during the show as like part of like the like
The cadence or whatever.
cadence,
Yeah.
the pentameter, whatever it is he like is kind of like he needs two syllables to make it work with the last line.
Right.
He threw an F in there or whatever, but it wasn't very often,
Yeah.
and I don't know. He seems like a real positive guy who's really skilled and appreciates what he has. He talks a lot about how he hasn't signed with a label. Like I think labels are trying to get him and stuff. And he's like, I like to keep it independent because yeah. And so anyway, it's just he's very likable in that way.
Nice.
So anyway, I spent way too long talking about that.
I
but
love
went
it.
to my
No, I
first
love
rap
it. I
concert,
love
so-
it. You also went to go see Dimitri Martin.
I did. It did.
Dude.
He was really, really good too, man. He did all his old stuff that he did.
Oh, did he?
Two different kinds of drawings on
Oh,
big
that's cool.
pads, and
I'm gonna go get some water. Talk to me. Tell me what else Dimitri did. He bring out a guitar?
he had a guitar. Brought out the guitar. When he did the guitar toward the end a little bit, and when he did the guitar and played the guitar, it started giving this like reverb back, this odd sound that he didn't want, and wasn't supposed to be there. So he went over and like fixed it on the little thing. You step on it with your foot, and whatever he hit, fixed it right away. And then he went back and played for a couple seconds, and then it started messing up again. So he just did like his whole guitar part with like really bad sound. It wasn't his fault. It was whatever sound issue was.
Pedal thing that
Yeah.
those guys do with them. Yeah.
But anyway, he went through it, and his jokes were good. So it did, it was a little bit distracting, but his jokes were really funny while he did that. So
Did he make fun of the fact that it wasn't working?
he did.
Okay.
He did a couple jokes about that. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I mean, he was fantastic, man.
The
He was
one-liner, another one of those one-line kings, man. That's to me, I think that's harder.
Yeah.
To do because it's so many jokes in an hour set.
Yep.
So many one-liner jokes. It's like Mitch Hedberg, like that's so many. Him and like Dimitri Martin and him, those kind of guys. God, you got to remember so much stuff.
I know.
Most people have a story that goes on for 7, 8 minutes, 10 minutes. You know what I mean? That's 1/5 in one story. That's easy. I can remember the story. That's easy to do.
Yep. Anyway, great show. Dimitri Martin was great. That was the last. I had like 4 or 5 comedy shows, tickets to those that I bought like all at the same time. That's my last one. I don't have any tickets for any future ones coming up, but there are a bunch of good people coming, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll get to a couple of them throughout the summer.
I like it. That sounds good.
Yeah.
That'll be enjoyable. All right, man. Well,
Absolutely.
speaking of comedy, I guess we got to do the Mount Rushmore first.
Either way.
We'll do the Mount Rushmore first. We
Yeah.
always do Mount Rushmore. We'll save Nick Menini. What's his name?
Mike Vecchione.
Mike Vecchione. We'll save the Italian Stallion for last. And let's go to what are we going to now?
Mount Rushmore of
Lunch meat. Yes. I'm super excited about the Mount Rushmore lunch meat.
I'm glad you are, because I struggled. I'll
Really?
be honest. I struggled with it.
Okay. I mean, I feel like I could do this. So you've got, there's all kinds of good lunch meat. I love lunch meat in general, right? You've got your regular bologna, great lunch meat. You've got stuff like the pickle loaf, right? Which is basically just bologna with pickles in it. Delicious.
Scared to death of that.
Don't be. It's great. Do you like pickles?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll like it.
Still
It'll be
pickles,
fine.
yeah.
Yeah, it's delicious. Don't be scared because it looks weird.
Texture seems like it'd be weird. I mean, bologna texture good.
Yeah, but when you put it on a sandwich with bread, you ain't gonna tell no difference. Braunschweiger. You ever had a little Braunschweiger?
I don't think so.
No, yeah, that's not bad.
Sounds like I thought that was a beer or something.
No, it's lunch meat. It's kind of like a Bologna kind of a deal. But there's a lot of good stuff out there. Back in the day, my favorite lunch meat by far was roast beef. I loved roast beef, but it had to be a good roast beef. You didn't want like an all brown roast beef. That's getting old, right? Like that's too right. It's not cooked or it's overcooked. I like a roast beef with just a little hint of red in it. You know what I mean? Like a slightly under roasted beef.
Okay.
Or just roasted correctly beef.
Yeah, not roast beef.
Yeah. So but I I don't think I'm a roast beef guy anymore. I mean, I'll eat it, but most of the roast beef I've had lately.
Now, this is not lunch meat, but when you talk roast beef, the first thing that comes to my mind, and probably to a lot of people, is Arby's.
Yeah.
That's not I'm sure that's not a lunch. I don't think of it as a lunch meat, but it's their specialty. And
yeah, that's a lunch meat. I mean, when you get it from, yeah, I know what you're saying.
When you get it from Arby's, it doesn't seem like a lunch meat.
Sure.
It just seems like a sandwich you eat for whatever. But how long has it been since you had Arby's?
Maybe 2 to 3 weeks.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, I get out on. Dude, you gotta understand. I live in my truck.
Yeah.
I'm on the road all day, every day. My truck smell like farts and takeout.
Yeah.
All right. Fast food and farts.
The real man's truck there.
Fast food and farts. That is a traveling salesman's vehicle. All right. So yeah, I will 100% hit an Arby's up, get me a beef and cheddar, throw some.
I miss a beef and cheddar.
I'll do a packet. I do one horseradish, one Arby's sauce on the sandwich. Then I go 2 horsey and 2 Arby's sauce mixed together to dip my curly fries in.
Ooh, gee,
dude, I'm gonna tell you right
I
now.
missed that Arby's sauce. I love the Arby's sauce.
Arby's sauce is good, bud. It's good. I don't know what you would call it. It's not a barbecue sauce.
It's like a mix of barbecue and ketchup, kind of.
Yeah. It's like a flavored down barbecue sauce.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Flavored down with ketchup.
Mm-hmm. But anyway,
sorry.
Yeah, so have you not had Arby's in a while?
10 years.
Oh, that's way too long, bud. You need to go back to Arby's.
I think the last time I had it made me sick.
Oh, that sucks.
I think.
Yeah. That's not good.
One of these days I'll get a beef and cheddar. I love the beef and I was eating it tons for a while.
Oh yeah.
A beef and cheddar and curly fries, you kidding me?
Don't get no better, bub. Don't get no better. All right. So do you want to go? You want me to go first? I'll go first.
You go first.
I'll go first. So you've got. I'm gonna number one. I think that was my phone.
Sounds bro.
Number one is I love Black Forest ham.
Okay.
It's got a nice seasoning on the outside. Tastes delicious. I love a good roast turkey. I love a good turkey. I'll do turkey shredded. I'll do a shredded turkey.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll do a shredded turkey or thinly sliced. It's mostly thinly sliced.
What's the difference? It's just messier.
Oh,
yeah, more moldable. I guess.
Yeah, you can make like
I mean, can you stack it better than a slice?
Oh, absolutely. Because with a slice, it like goes over top of the bread and it's outside of the bread. I like the shredded. Keep it inside my bread. I can go a little higher with it, right? I can get a little higher with it, but not use a ton more. It's just kind of a little airy, fluffy. Fluff it up a little bit.
Okay.
I'll go there. And then I eat salami like it's going out of style. Love it. Salami's definitely on there. Now, the last one's a tough one because I'll eat just about anything. Like I ain't scared of nothing, and especially lunch meat. Let's go. I'm in. Right?
Well, yeah, you said pickle loaf, so you're not scared.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, but I think I'm just gonna go. I didn't eat it a lot as a kid. We did always have the Oscar Mayer bologna at the deli. It's about the same. Just I'll just do a little thinner than the Oscar Mayer slices. Those are a little thick. So just a little. My daughter loves it, and I've grown to love the bologna. And it's not just because putting it on a lunch meat sandwich. it's being able to fry it. And I'll have it with breakfast. I'll just fry it and get the little where it kind of comes up in a little bubble. And I'll get 2 fried eggs. And I'll put that directly over top of the fried eggs, makes a little hole over. It's fun and it fits right. It just looks delicious. On a sandwich, eggs, fried eggs, probably over medium. I like them over easy, but it gets in my beard when I put it on a sandwich. Probably over medium is a way to go if you're gonna do it. But fried eggs over medium, cheese, and fried bologna. We've done this before, right?
Yes,
Yeah, we've done that before. Maybe we've already done this before, and that's how it comes out. But I probably had roast beef on it back then. Not any longer. So that's it. I'm turkey, salami, bologna, Black Forest ham.
Is there something unique about the Black Forest ham that separates it from another ham?
I just don't feel like being called racist, so I don't go with the White Forest ham. I like to cross over.
Well, if you weren't racist, you'd call it African American forest ham.
Well, it's not an African American. It doesn't come from Africa or anything like that. The forest is black. It has nothing to do with people.
Oh,
what are you talking about? This isn't a black and white thing.
I didn't know.
Sorry. Anyway, no, I don't know. I think it's just the seasoning they put on the outside of it. It's a little darker. It's about it.
I feel like there are a zillion different kinds of ham and turkey.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So speak that. Oven roasted turkey is my number one.
There you go. Oven roasted.
I used to get it every week. I usually go the private selection.
Did you ever go shredded? Did you ever try it shredded?
Never tried shredded. Maybe at some party or something. I don't know. But
maybe when you said I'll have a pound of roast turkey and they just shredded it and said, "Is this okay?" And you're like, "Yeah. Sure, that's fine."
Because I'm not gonna say no. I mean, I don't want you to waste it. Anyway, oven roasted turkey. That's my favorite. That's the only thing I feel like I don't cook ever. It's the only thing I feel like I've ever prepared a certain way and done a good job of. I'll take 2 pieces, 100% whole wheat bread, just so that I can say that I do that and that I'm being healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, but that's what I'll use. I'll do 2 pieces of I'll go, slice it thin or whatever. And then they'll go here. And I'm sure I've said this before. I'm like, yeah. And it doesn't matter. Yeah,
perfect.
Doesn't matter what it looks like. That's the way it's going to be. Just do it. So take 2 of those. I'll lay them across and I'll fold a piece diagonal to the bread.
Oh, you go diagonal.
I go diagonal, and then another piece opposite
diagonal. Yeah.
So it's
like an X. It's an X.
And each piece is folded over itself.
I love it. 100%. No. I'm big on the fold because I said I don't like it hanging out the bread. Mm-hmm. So I'm big on a fold and a fold. I do that with the bologna. I fold my bologna, take it out the circle, forget the circle. I go to half circles, but I butt them up to each other. Put it on.
Let me take it back. I go fold it over one piece, right? I go cheese over that.
Ooh, then
pickles.
Oh, okay.
Mustard.
What kind of pickles do you put on it?
Dill.
I know dill
chips.
but the chips. Okay, the
chips.
Right,
or
chips.
ovals. Sometimes ovals.
Okay.
And then the other opposite diagonal slice of turkey. So turkey and turkey, bread, turkey, cheese, mustard, pickles.
Mustard.
Love mustard.
I can't stand mustard on my sandwich. On a sandwich. I don't want mustard on my sandwich. Love mayo. I'll put ranch on a sandwich when I'm out of mayonnaise. I mean, it's almost the same, just a little zestier,
just
right?
Better.
Just a little zestier. But I've never liked mustard. Now, recently, I've gone ketchup mustard on my hot dog.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good for that.
Combo.
Yeah, you get a little. I like it on something warm and like on a hamburger, or hot dog. I'm good with it. But not on my lunch meat sandwich. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I feel like the mustard's got to be on something warm. I'm not a fan of it on anything else.
For a while, I was making those almost every day, that same sandwich, and man, looked forward to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Heck yeah, man.
It was
I
good.
feel you on that. Do you know what I like to do? Sorry, I'll just do this.
No, please.
So I put the mayo on both pieces of bread, right? Because I love mayo and it's probably a 1/4 inch thick of mayonnaise.
Yeah.
And then I'll take some garlic salt. Tap, 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 tap. Give me a little garlic salt evenly on both pieces of bread too with the mayo.
You tap way too early.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, a little garlic salt in the mayo, right? Then the rest of the sandwich goes down. Telling you right now, bud. Telling you right now. Coming from a guy who loves salt, which I mean, but it's good. It's good stuff. But
It sounds kind of good. Garlic salt's good. I almost said Black Forest turkey. Oven roasted turkey is one. Hard salami. Give me a hard salami. I don't know what's different between hard and soft salami.
I've never had a soft salami. Have you ever had a soft salami?
No.
Every salami roll I've ever ended up eating has always been a hard salami, even though it's not really hard.
It's not hard.
I mean, it might be harder when it's in its full roll.
As before it is killed.
Oh.
No. When the animal's still alive.
What is in salami? It's just pressed. Is the white fat? Is the white part fat?
Probably, or something I don't want to know.
Okay. So it's delicious.
It's delicious. Hard salami with cheese and pickles and mustard.
How about hard salami? How about just salami roll-ups? I mean,
salami roll-ups so excellent.
I struggle with salami roll-ups. Like people will be like, "Oh, we're going to a party. What are you gonna make?" And I'm like, "Oh, I should make salami roll-ups." Yeah, but if I get salami and make salami roll-ups, there might be 20 that make it there out of the 60 that I make.
Yeah. And they're so easy little finger foods. You just pop them. It's so good.
I can't stand people that chintz on the cream cheese on a salami roll. When you go to a party, and you're like, "Oh, salami roll-ups," and you go, "Oh, what did they do? Take a tick and put cream cheese on this? Get out of town."
Load that thing up with cream cheese.
Load it, baby. Load it. Once again, you know what else you can put on there?
Mayonnaise.
A little bit of garlic salt.
All right.
I sprinkle that shit on anything. Ooh,
yeah.
Stuff on anything.
Just like was it Texas Pete or something?
That's right. Whatever it is, I put that on everything.
Boar's Head spicy Cajun smoked oven roasted turkey.
Yes. So we're going to another turkey. I love the turkey. That's perfect. I'm in for that. That comes down to the seasoning on the outside. I'm totally good with you having 2 turkeys on there.
Thank you. I have in my adult life have become more of a savory, salty food appreciator, I think. And I like a Cajun. I don't like super hot stuff, but I like a Cajun seasoning sometimes. Yeah. I like a barbecue sauce more now than I used to when I was younger, that kind of stuff. So give me the Cajun smoked oven roasted turkey. And then I put similar sort of thing, Boar's Head blazing buffalo chicken breast.
Don't know that I had. So the chicken breast,
I've never had it, but I saw it and I was like, that's sounds
good.
Amazing.
I'm not a chicken breast guy for lunch meat. I'm not. The sliced chicken breast, I've never been a fan of.
I don't know that I've had it much at all, honestly, but that sounds good because again, I like a buffalo flavor, a buffalo seasoning, or a sauce or whatever on something now. And I'm not even a wing guy really, but I'll have buffalo sauce on some kind of meat, a buffalo chicken sandwich.
Buffalo. Do you know what buffalo sauce is? Do you know what buffalo is?
I assume it's buffalo urine mixed with mayonnaise.
That's not it.
What is it?
It's just like Frank's Red Hot or any kind of light hot sauce and butter. That's all it is.
That's why it's good.
It's toned down with butter. So it's not that way. It's not just straight hot sauce. That's what brings it down.
And that's if
why you get a
little bit of butter if it's hot.
Buffalo hot,
medium
less
more
butter. Buffalo medium, more butter.
All right. I'm usually medium.
Hooters medium sauce, Frank Red Hot and butter. You go make it right now. I'm telling you right now. You can go make it.
I want to.
I might when we're done.
Nothing's open. If this was New York City, everything would be still open. Nothing's open.
Nothing's
I would
open.
go get some buffalo something right now.
Huh, nothing's open right now.
No.
It can't go down the street to the bodega.
No, that'd be nice. But then you got to live in New York. But anyway, those are my 4. That's my 4.
I like it. That sounds good. All right, let's talk about Nicholas Macchiato.
Yeah.
Maraschino.
Let's talk about Nicholas Macchiato.
What's his name?
Mike Vecchione.
Mike Vecchione. Let's go. Attractive people.
The attractives.
The attractives. Something like that. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. I'm gonna let you start with this. I started with that one. I'll let you start with this. I'm gonna do what I always do, and I'm just gonna talk over you when you start talking about what I think. But
Please do.
I'll let you go.
Please do that. Mike Vecchione. The Attractives. This is on YouTube. Produced by Nate Bargatze.
Yeah.
So it has Nate's stamp of approval if you like him.
And I love Nate Bargatze. Bargatze.
How can you not?
Bargatze.
How can you not?
Guy on my son's baseball team. Kid on my son's baseball team. His dad, so I guess his grandpa is friends with Nate Bargatze's dad.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
He from Tennessee?
I guess. I don't know where they're from, but they know each other. He came into town and grandpa came in and visited and hung out with old boy's dad. How about that?
That's pretty cool.
I was like, huh, I think you need to
work that friendship.
hook me up here, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool. Well, Mike Vecchione is, because he's in this class with Nate and with Big J and Dan Soder and all these New York guys that are around their late 30s, early 40s that are really good right now. He's right there with those guys, not quite as big in names as some of those other guys, but he's friends with all those guys and he's been around and he's been doing this for a long time. Moved in with his girlfriend during the pandemic.
Oh yeah.
By the way,
best part of the entire thing was the moving in with the girlfriend from Indiana.
A lot of stuff. He moved in. He was already in New York, moved in with his girlfriend during the pandemic because for the previous 10 years before that, lived with Dan Soder. They both moved in with their respective girlfriends. Dan Soder is now engaged to Katie Nolan, and Mike Vecchione is, I guess, still with his girlfriend. Anyway, I don't know why I told you that. It's just a fact. I know.
I thought you were getting ready to talk about some of the jokes about the girlfriend.
I was. I wrote that down because I felt like a lot of that stuff was really good.
It was.
It's always a big thing moving in with somebody, especially for the first time, and you can get a lot of stuff out of that, and he did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anything more specific than that because I wrote this down a long time ago.
Yeah, I know. We did this. We're 3 weeks behind. I didn't watch it the first time, and I did watch it, and we didn't have the podcast, and it's been, I apologize.
No,
I'll tell you that.
fine.
Yeah, go ahead. Next. What's your next?
I wrote down Charles Edward Cheese.
Charles Edward Cheese.
We have rats.
We have rats.
I also wrote down what does that say?
I don't know, bud.
Born. What does that mean?
I don't know, but I feel like I remember something to that effect. I went back and watched the first 20 minutes of this again because it had been so long since I watched it. I like it though. That sounds funny.
He had the thing about, and I watched the same documentary. I'm trying to remember her name now, but female boxer who got really, really good. I think she competed in the Olympics and got into boxing because her father was abusive and beat her mother all the time. So she, like, to defend herself and to defend her mother, she got into boxing and got really good. And her brother is a promoter.
That
was funny. The brother saw everybody fighting and was like, I can sell tickets.
I saw tickets to that. Yeah, that was good.
Let's see. I've got Hebrew writing, footstool.
I don't remember that.
This is so funny.
I love the fact that
I don't know.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great note though.
Let's see. Jesus, they want to pay you a non-union wage to carry the cross.
That was good. This is a typical New York thing right there, talking about that. Yeah, he had to carry his own cross.
Yeah. Those are the notes I wrote down, and then I wrote clean. I thought this was really good. I really did enjoy this special, and he was pretty clean, and I think he had to be. I don't think Nate would put it on Nate's only. He will only deal
Because
in-
I've heard that his podcast can get, I mean, not dirty, but that there'll be some bombs thrown around on his podcast that he puts out.
Not by him, I don't think. If they have a guest and that happens, because
Yeah.
I was watching one a few weeks ago. He had Nick Thune on, who I love.
Yep.
And Nick Thune said something, and he's like, "Oh, whoa, it's a clean podcast."
Oh,
What are
I
you
got you.
doing?" And
Okay.
he was kind of messing with him, but also telling him, like,
hey,
"Hey,
let's
we
chill
don't
out
talk
on that.
about
Yeah,
the dirty stuff."
yeah.
So anyway, yeah, I think Nate is really like, hey, you got it. Like, if he has a show and if he brings somebody on the road with him, he's like, they have
It's
to be
usually
clean.
the two guys that are on his podcast.
Yeah, but they have to be clean. They have to work clean if they're going to work with him. Anyway, I think the other things, because he's doing somebody else's now too, somebody else's special now, and I'm pretty sure you have to be at least mostly clean.
Okay. And that's fine. So here's the deal though. A lot of it seemed robotic almost to me. He seemed almost robotic. Not in his delivery, maybe in his delivery, not in his tone, but I didn't feel, I don't know. I wasn't the biggest fan of this.
Okay.
I didn't laugh a bunch. Like, I mean, there were some parts where they're funny. And, I might have a little giggle or smile or something, but I never found myself even one time laughing out loud during this.
Okay.
Like not hysterically, but like, caught me by surprise with that one and started laughing. I feel like I was ready for a lot of the punchlines. Like a lot of them felt like the punchline was already there. Like you knew it was coming.
Really?
Yeah. And it just came out and you were like, all right. The bringing it back when he brought the thing back about being unintelligent or whatever. I mean, I was just waiting for it when it was talking about the bug and the bug in there in the toilet. I knew that was coming back. I just waiting for it. Oh, there. Okay, good job. It just felt maybe predictable, maybe I don't know. If you would have told me this dude's been doing it for 15 years, or that I had to guess if he's been doing it for 2 years or 15 years, I'd have went to 2 years.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't not a big fan of it. It wasn't bad. I'm not saying it was bad. Like I'm not giving it like a 2.2. I'm just saying it didn't blow my socks away.
Okay.
I mean, I when I listen, I don't have my notes from it because I wrote it on the back of my practice plan for baseball, and I gave that practice plan to a coach so he could take care of things. And I don't have it, but I specifically remember exactly the score that I put on the back of it, and it was a 3.2. So it was good, but I wasn't dying laughing. It was like, it was funny, and I smiled, and it was good. There were no parts that were bad. I don't think there was any part in it where the joke didn't hit or, anything like that. I just don't think it was great.
Okay. That's fair. I don't know if I felt like it was really good. Like I really liked it. I thought he had some really good jokes, some clever stuff, some well-written stuff.
I really like the stuff with the girlfriend in the house and I can't remember exactly what he said when he was talking, he yells too much or something like that. And the pig in a barn, oh, here comes, and knew that he was going to say, well, she's from Indiana, right? So she was raised in a barn. I mean, that wasn't that good. Like those, I felt like a lot of the jokes were like that. It was like, moved in, she's from Indiana, you think she's going to be slow because she's from Indiana, and then she's messy. And I told her, you live in a barn, and then she's from Indiana, so she really was raised in a barn. I'm like, this is killing me, bro.
He rewriting footstool.
Yeah, exactly. Like it just felt that way. It didn't feel like there was a lot of energy on the punchline. I know that it sounded better when you said it. I just didn't feel the energy on it. It didn't feel the punchline.
It does. You gave it a 4.3.
Okay, well, there you go. Well, that might be the biggest we've been off in a long time.
Yeah, probably. Maybe I just want it to be so good because I'm such a fan of his friends or
Yeah,
something. I don't know.
I-
Maybe I convinced myself of it,
Yeah.
but I did think it was good. And I don't know. We'll see what he does next.
Well, there you go. Is what it is.
Let me. You just said something, and I wanted to ask you something really quick because we'll wrap up in. You have. I know that you have something or multiple things that is a must for every practice.
Mhm.
Drills, whatever it is, warm up stuff, whatever. Something that you need to incorporate into every practice because it's that important.
Uh, I mean, every practice is not the same. I mean, obviously, we stretch and toss the exact same way before every practice. Our tossing, we toss with a purpose. We talk about tossing with a purpose, not just go toss and then come in, work your way out. When you're catching a ball, things when you catch a specific way, like as you work out, we're catching a ball and putting a tag down. As we work in, or as we work out, we're catching a ball like we're a cutoff man. Step ready to throw, and then turn back around and throw. When we're working our way back in, we catch it and make a tag. Right, you're catching and making a tag. So everything has a purpose like that. But that's normal, not normal, but that's just tossing and stretching. So I don't know if that's what you mean. But there are days where it might be we've had a terrible base running game. So it's like, all right, run straight down here. Let's base run right now. We're doing base running, and we'll do that for most of the time. But if there's something that I put into almost all of my practices, it's probably ground ball fundamentals. Being fundamentally sound on ground balls is the most important thing because that's the most popular hit ball. And if you can't field it and throw them out, then you're never going to win a game. And we're very good with that.
I was gonna say at that age, especially like school ball and stuff, you guys play at a higher level, but like a lot of kids that age, games go 3 hours and get called for darkness in the fourth inning because every play is an error. You know what I mean?
No, that doesn't happen with there. That's
Right.
we had one error in our last game. Maybe actually two. The very last play would have been considered an error. We had one ground ball that was missed, and he kept it in front of him and went to pick it up. And just as he picked it up, it fell back out of his bare hand. So he wasn't able to make the play. But he kept it in front of him. He did a great job there, right? It wasn't rolled through his legs, then any of this kind of stuff. And then we had another error at the very end of the game. We got walked off. We had second, third with one out, brought the infield in, couldn't have got anything better. Ground ball to the second baseman, fielded it, and just overthrew the catcher. But that happens. It's tough.
That happens.
That's
high
a tough,
level high school.
that happens everywhere. So that's tough play. I mean, that's a really, really tough play for a play you don't always make. You're never working on fielding a ball and throwing back at where the ball was. You work on coming through the ball, getting around the ball and fielding through it towards first base. So it's totally different. It's a very difficult play. But no, yeah, most of listen, we're 10 years old, right? You're going to have errors in the game, but we always say keep it under, you have one or two errors and we should be fine. One or two errors and we fine. We don't.
That's
in
great.
6 innings of baseball. I don't. Yeah. Now when they're, the other, there are days that are worse, but for the most part, I don't think we've had a game that's had more than 4 errors in it.
That's good. That's very good.
But we also have time limit. It's an hour and 50 time. Well, 2 hour time. You can't start an inning after 2 hours. Unless there's no game after you, then they'll let you play. We played extra innings the other day and it went about 2 hours and 15 minutes.
I gotcha.
Most of our games are over an hour and 45. Why? Why do you ask that? I want to know why you ask that. Is there something you incorporate in all your practices every single time?
We did. A lot of coaches, I think, believe in like shell drill every day for 20 minutes. Some people do it. I didn't do it that much, but and not every single day, but we would do at least one rebounding drill every day.
Mm-hmm.
We would do, and maybe not the same one, but there was like a 5, a rotation of maybe like 5 rebounding drills that we'll do, and we'll do at least one, usually 2 or 3 every day. A lot of course shooting, you're shooting free throws every day. But I listen to a podcast. It's the 5-Minute Coaching Podcast. It's this like real successful high school coach from Wisconsin, and he puts one out every day, and he has coaches come on, and that's one of the questions that he'll ask most of the coaches, like, what is one thing that's important that you do every day in practice, or that's like the most important thing for you to do in practice every day? So I was just thinking about that when you were talking about that just a little bit ago.
Yeah. I would say fundamental on ground balls is the thing that we do work. I'll absolutely do every single time.
I love that. I feel like that's because it's a harder thing to get. It's a harder thing to field cleanly than a fly ball or a line drive.
Yeah. Fly ball's going up, coming down. Ground ball's getting hit, and you don't know where that thing's gonna go.
That's right.
Especially on the ball fields we play on. It ain't a beautifully manicured major league field, that's for sure.
I played softball one time. I think it was at Oz Camp, and it was like it had rained a ton, and it was just a giant mud puddle, and it was like somebody came through and just ran through it for hours. So there were like huge
divots.
Yeah, there were huge footprints throughout the infield, and then it dried like that, and that's just how it was. Every ball hit on the ground
was going everywhere.
I'm doing
that's somebody should be dragging a field. Nobody dragged a field. We drag a field after every single practice.
Not for co-ed Sunday softball.
Yeah, that still needs to be drugged.
Yeah,
absolutely needs to be drugged.
I was frightened.
We drag our fields at the end of the night anytime they're used. They need to be redone every time. Otherwise, you're going to have that.
Yeah.
I'll spend half the time on Sundays in softball when I'm at third or short, walking almost all the way to home plate, just kind of taking my foot and trying to smooth out any impurities there are, because this face does not want to be smashed.
That's your moneymaker.
It is not my moneymaker, but it hurts. My face hurts more than anything else. I took one off the thigh the other day. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Oh, did I tell you? I didn't tell you that story. Oh, okay. We'll do this real quick.
Let's do it.
So, very well. I wear a cup. I have worn a cup since I was a little kid. I might have went through a little stage where I didn't for a little while, but I always wear a cup. If I'm playing softball, I got a cup on, right? I've old school jock strap style.
Make sure you play infield.
Yes. Now, if I like back in the day when I was younger and I would go to the outfield, I'd take it out if I was in the outfield. Now I could.
Would you just hold it? Like you?
I call somebody and have somebody hold it for me.
Okay.
No, I do that though. That is something I'll do at the end of games all the time. I'll pull it out. Somebody will be walking by. Hey, bro, hold this for a second, and I just turn around, and start taking my shoes off, and they're like, oh, it's good. I love doing something. I love messing with people like that.
I feel like that's something you would get me with. And I would just be so just beside myself.
Yeah. I mean, I got a pair of sliding shorts on, and then it's inside a pouch in my jock strap.
Still.
Yeah. So anyway,
the swamp down there.
Yeah. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, before this, there's the first inning, and I look at this young kid playing shortstop, and I was like, dude, today's the day. So I came straight from my in-laws' house. I forgot my cup. I don't have a cup on. I was like, you got your cup on? He's like, I don't wear a cup. And I was like, you're crazy, brother. You're a young boy. You need to put a cup on. And I was like, this is going to be the day that I get hit. I've never been hit in the nads ever. Never taken one off the cup. Worn one for 25 years, 30 years. Never taken one off the cup. Today's going to be the day. Sure enough, second batter smokes a ball down the third base line. It takes a big hop on me, and I come up, and my hands were in front of my nads, right? I would have caught it if it would have got there, but it hit me about 3 inches away on the inner thigh. I had a nice little bruise there. It's
okay,
pretty much gone now, but it got me right on the inner thigh, and I pick it up, and I was like, I knew I'd get hit in the nuts. As I threw it, I'm screaming, and everybody's like, oh my God, are you all right? And I was like, no, it missed, but I told you that it was going to happen today. And I thought it was going to get me. Like when I felt it hit my inner thigh, I was like, it got me. The one day I didn't wear a cup, and I'm going to get it. We had a kid at Elder baseball tryouts. I'll never forget. Baseball tryouts, freshman year at Eldor, Derek Bess. 3 ground balls. Hit him in the cup. 3 ground. I'll never forget it. Doink, pick it up, field it. Doink, pick it up and field it. I'm like, oh my God, man. That hit you again? He's like, yep, hit me again.
I feel like a cup like protects, but it doesn't, like it still really hurts, right?
Yeah, it just depends on how it hits you in the cup. Yeah. Depends on how it hits you in the
Because
cup.
like I mean, I don't.
Have you ever watched the Nutty Buddy commercial with Chris Sabo?
Yes, I have.
That dude takes a 90-mile-an-hour fastball to the cup.
Was that like made of steel or something?
No, it's plastic, but it's the way the thing's huge. It's like that, but it wraps it. It's got more surface area, so when it hits you, it absorbs in different areas of your body, so it's wider spread like anything else. So the pain is absorbed.
Just wear steel underwear then or something. Wear a chastity belt or whatever.
If you've never seen the Nutty Buddy commercial with Chris Sabo from like the early 2000s, late 90s, look it up. Nutty Buddy. It's a cup. It's out there today. He did a thing on Sports Science on ESPN. He did the exact same thing. He stood up. They dialed in the gun, and he took a 80-mile-an-hour fastball right to the ding dong. Dude's crazy. He's the inventor of it, and he's like, "Look, man, I trust in my product. I'll show you right now." Put his cup on, and took it right off the hoo-ha. Nothing. And no, just a little flinch, and that's it. He's like, I'm totally fine. And then at the end of the one with Chris Sabo, when I saw Chris Sabo, that was the way of breaking the ice to try to get him to actually take a picture with me and my dad. I told him, I was like, dude, that Nutty Buddy commercial with you was hilarious. I was like, that guy was crazy. He goes, man, that guy was nuts. I was like, yeah. So in it, he says, yeah, he starts talking. He's like, this guy's crazy in the commercial for it, or on YouTube it is. And he's like, and then he starts talking about 1988. Jack Clark broke his cup. He took a ground ball to a cup and broke his cup.
Wow. That third base, man, that's something else.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I would call it? The hot corner. Just made that up.
Did you? That makes sense. Like the ball's coming off real hot off the bat, coming in hot. That makes sense.
For the infield.
I kind of like it, bud. I kind of like that. I think I might start using that. I'm gonna start calling my third basemen. I'm gonna start telling them they're playing the hot corner.
We can talk about what it might. I mean,
cost me.
Throw me a couple.
Yeah, I got no problem with that. What if there's a lefty up? Can I tell the first baseman he's on a hot corner?
Look,
listen. We play a team once or twice a year that has 12 kids on the team, and 8 are left-handed. So I feel like the hot corner becomes first base against them.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they all pitch, don't they?
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know if they all pitch, but
it
seems like they all pitch against us.
Have a lefty pitcher in that age. Wow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but hot corner. So trademark.
There you go.
We have to pick Mount Rushmore in a comedy.
Yep,
for that
you do the Mount Rushmore, but what do you got?
Mount Rushmore of DJs.
Oh, well, you knew who my number one is for sure. I gotta go with DJ Jazzy Jeff and Shaq Diesel. I mean, Shaq's got to be on there, right? I mean, Shaq's on there just because he's Shaq. I'm just kidding.
Sure. This is a very loose one because some of those guys that got famous, like DJ Khaled.
DJ Khaled's like,
doesn't he just play other people's music and say,
no, he's a producer.
Another one or something?
Yeah, another one. He produces it. He's a producer. He's not, I feel like he's not actually a DJ. He's a producer. He produces the beats, right? Like Kanye West was a producer. Doesn't make him a DJ. But like old school guys, they produced it and they were the DJs for the group. But they produced the music, right? Like with RZA with Wu-Tang, right? Like he started out wanting to be he was a DJ / producer. That's how he started doing it. And then he just became a producer and a rapper.
Mount Rushmore DJs.
All right. Oh, we've done this before. Oh boy, what are we going to go with? There's a couple of them out here, bub.
Yep.
There is a couple of them. Let's go with, man, I feel like we've done the Wanda Sykes before. Have we done Wanda Sykes before on this?
I feel like we have, but she does have a new one out.
She's got a new one. Who else has got a new one out there? Let's see. Looks like is this new? No way. We've already no, that's old. Some of these are old. I don't know why they're popping up on here. Okay, let's just do Wanda Sykes. Why not? I'll do Wanda Sykes on the Netflix. Let's see. I don't know. You've got all the good ones. I'm going with Wanda Sykes. I'm an entertainer. This should be good. I like Wanda Sykes. I think she's funny.
Me too. All right. We got Wanda Sykes. We've got the Mount Rushmore of DJs. We've got the NBA Finals. And who knows what else?
Who knows what else? Until then, don't forget to turn your headlights on.